Hey, good afternoon, folks. This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and this is the Clay Way. If this video is helpful, please consider subscribing, clicking the notifications, sharing my videos, sending me the big old thumbs up and your nice comments. And if you got a question for me, hit me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. I happily try to answer them if I can. So today we're working on a 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan. This is going to be the same as your Chrysler Town & Country and your Plymouth Voyager, even dating back that far. It's pretty simple, and even if the bolts aren't exactly the same, it's going to be a relatively the same process. To get this front bumper cover off, which is obviously smashed, but that shouldn't make much of a difference, we're going to remove 3 8mm bolts that hold our headlights in on each side. And in my situation, I had 2 10mm bolts right here and right here. Once we get the headlights removed, we've got an 8mm bolt or nut back here on the back side on each side. But before we remove them nuts, we want to go underneath and remove the plastic shroud that runs underneath the bottom of the bumper cover. Along the bottom edge here, we're going to have 5 to 6 pushies. Now, in some situations, they could be 7 or 8mm screws, but most of the time they are pushies. Along the outside edge, where your inner fender liner connects, it's Phillips screws that hold that on. Or 6 or 7mm screws could be affixed in there as well. I've seen all 3. And an 8mm nut that I pointed to right there. Okay, going from right up underneath here, we can see the first set of our pushies right back there. Now to get to the screws on the inner fender liner, we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 Phillips screws. We've turned our wheel fully clockwise so we can get to them easily. And we're going to do the reverse on the passenger side. Up here on each side of the bumper cover, we're going to have 2 8mm screws that need to be removed. And I'm going to show you how to do that. The screw that I'm referring to is an 8mm screw that goes right up through here. Most fenders are rusted out, and that's why I didn't have to remove this one at the picky part. Getting to the screw is actually relatively simple. You just come up through the little gap right here, kind of bend it a little bit, and you'll get it off easily. Now getting to the last remaining 8mm nuts after we've taken off the 2 screws on each side and our bottom pushies is pretty simple. But what happens is sometimes this barrel wants to spin on here and the nut don't want to spin off. So you will often put a screwdriver in there to pry it apart so it pulls the whole stud out of there. Now my nut came right off, but when I was out at the picky part getting the front bumper cover for this, it did not do that. So I got lucky on this vehicle. I didn't get quite as lucky on this side. My stud unscrewed, but is sandwiched here on the fender. So we're gonna have to take that off once we remove our bumper cover. Now that I believe we have all the screws removed, we can quite simply pull back on our bumper cover, pop it off the clips. And it should be ready for removal, with the exception of our possible fog lights that need to be unplugged and some other assorted electrical items. She is totally ready to remove. Hopefully you folks found the video helpful and at the very least informative. God bless you guys. Have a great afternoon. Remember, if anyone else can do it, you can do it too. This was Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Have a very nice day.